happy Monday, how are you? Hope you're all doing really well. I've decided to do a video for the Mother Hen Club, all about sort of positivity and trying to be more positive. We've had lots of sort of messages from mums saying that they're sort of stuck in a rut or they're in a dark place or they find it really tricky at the moment to sort of get out of that, get motivated and just feel more uplifted. So I thought I'd do a video today with just some of my tips that help me stay sort of positive and optimistic and, you know, just generally happier really. They're only sort of little things, but I think they are things that do actually really help. They might sound really silly, but hopefully they'll work for you guys. These things that I'm going to sort of go through they can be sort of anything to do with anything, whether you're having just a really crappy day or whether you're having a really, really tough time like generally in your life. I would say I am generally a really positive, sort of optimistic person. My glass is pretty much full all the time, but I have definitely had times in my life where I have found it really difficult. I have had a lot of anxiety and things like that, and worry, or just big things in life that I've found really, really hard. Like I'm sure everybody has. I know that it's not sort of just me or just you, it is everyone. Everyone goes through times in their life where it is really tricky and they kind of feel like they're stuck in that place. And they can be sort of, their outlook on life can be really different and kind of really angry. So sometimes things that we can let go over our heads or we don't sort of worry about so much, at that point in time it's really difficult to sort of let that go. And I think that's sort of what I'm going to start out with, is it is a lot to do with your outlook. And I understand that that is really tricky, especially as a mum or a new mum. Lack of sleep, hormones, constant crying, the feeling of it being Groundhog Day, every day you're doing the same thing. It's getting up, feeding, sterilising, making bottles, or breastfeeding all day because they're cluster feeding, and you're like, oh my god, this is never going to change. I'm going to be like this forever. I'm going to be stuck like this forever. Baby's crying every 2 hours at night and you just need sleep. And I get it's really easy to sit here and say, you know, everybody be happy. I had 8 hours sleep last night. Like, I get that. But it is a lot to do with sort of your outlook, I think. Those times won't last forever. And I know everyone's probably telling you that, and that's probably the last thing you want to hear. But I promise you, and at the time it feels like, oh my god, like this is it now, this is it. But it's really, really not. And you will get through it, and it is, I understand how tough it is. So I'm just going to go through a few little things with you that hopefully are going to help sort of turn it around, and we're going to have that, you know, positive view back. So one of the things I actually was thinking about when I sort of discussed with Laura at the Mother Hen Club about doing this video about being positive and things, and I thought back to when I was in sort of like a bad place and things like that, and what I did to try and turn that around. And one of the main things I found really helpful was changing your outlook. So when you're in a really bad place or you're in a bad mood, everything you kind of take to heart, everything can seem like just everything annoys you. Something your husband says that normally you'd find really funny is, I can't believe you'd say that, why would you say that? Or something that your toddler does that normally you'd think, oh my goodness, why are you doing that, you're so silly, is actually like, are you trying to make me explode today? So changing that outlook, like flipping it, I found really helped me. I ordered this book off of Amazon. So let's see if I can get it a little bit closer. Where the blinds are, you can't see it so well. I'm going to put the link in the bio anyway. But it's actually called 1 Year Wiser. And it's a gratitude journal. And it's got loads of like positive like affirmations in it. Got like little bits you can colour and all things like that. But what it is it's like a diary, and it's supposed to give you like a year to change and kind of look at the world differently. And I know that might sound like really hippie and stuff, but I found it really helpful. And what I used to do is, so like every day I'd write 3 things I was grateful for, or that went really well in the day, or that kind of thing. And that was down to anything from something massive like getting a promotion at work, getting a pay rise, or getting a new job, or this was pre-pregnancy and motherhood, so it was probably quite career focused, or something little like the sun was shining today, or someone held the door open for me. And actually every day you think, I have 3 things I need to sort of be grateful for. So then you start looking at things kind of differently, and when you're having a really bad day, you know you have to put those 3 things down. So you're kind of trying to look at everything in a different way. Some of the ones in here are like the rain. I'm grateful for the rain today. I sat down and had a glass of wine and listened to the rain, and it was really nice and really peaceful. And I know that sounds really silly, but it's just pinpointing things that made you feel good that day. And then I think sometimes having that different outlook, especially with children, I found that blogging really has helped me. Whereas I was getting to a place where I was getting very frustrated or annoyed, or Spencer was doing things and I was just like, oh, the crying or whatever. When I started blogging and writing about it, I used to try and turn it around. So I would think, okay, so how can I write about this? How can I make a funny video about this? How can I think putting that kind of spin on things when you're having a bad time does really help. It does take time and it is hard, and some days you're going to come away and be like, I can't find anything to be thankful for today, because you're just not in that great place that day. But that doesn't mean that tomorrow you can't wake up and it being a new day. Another thing I would say is set yourself some tasks, some targets. I love a list. I love ticking things off of a list. That always makes me feel really great. But I think don't make the list too long so you're stressing yourself out. You don't need that. Maybe 3 things. And that can be 3 things for the day, or 3 things for the week, or 3 things for the year that you'd like to achieve by the end of the year. I think having goals and setting yourself sort of targets means you can focus on that, rather than focusing on what's going on or what's upsetting you, what's stressing you out, or things in the past that have happened that are still bothering you. You can aim towards these things. So for instance, if you're finding it really tough with the baby and you feel like you're not getting things done, you feel like all you do is you're just surrounding them all the time, you're feeding them, you're changing them, and you don't have time to do anything else, and that's frustrating you. Set 3 things that you know you can do, and that once you've done them you feel like you've achieved a bit more that day. So it could be put a load of washing on, it could be, I don't know, wash your hair, it could be, I don't know, walk to the park, things like that. When you tick them off, you're going to feel good, and that's going to, boost you a little bit. I've done those things. Everything I've set myself for today, I've done. Or you can set yourself targets like what you would like to achieve in the future. You don't even have to have a date on it. So it could be, I would like to one day change my profession to this, or I would like one day to be able to do this, or whatever, and aim towards that. Sometimes having goals really helps us. Again, I wouldn't write a list of 100 things to do that day if you're already finding what you're doing in the day very stressful, because all that's going to do is make you feel worse. So it needs to be little simple things that will make you feel better at the end of the day, but you're not going to get really stressed about if they don't get done, because it's not the end of the world. Another thing I would say, going back to the whole going to the park thing, is fresh air. Fresh air and exercise are 2 things that really do sort of change your mindset. And I know that's really hard, but I remember when Spencer was really tiny and I used to feel really kind of like, oh, sometimes you get that, I just need to get out, I need to get out, I need to just do something, I need to just be out of the house. So I used to put him in his pram, pack the pram up, off we'd go for a walk, whether it was 20 minutes, an hour and a half, and I would just walk and walk and walk. And by the time I'd got halfway up the street, I'd feel a bit better. Everything that was bothering me didn't seem like such a big deal anymore, and especially if the weather's nice and things like that. But even if it was raining and I felt like that, I would just put a coat on and I'd put the rain cover on and I'd just go. you know, go for a drive if that makes you feel better. Just have a little drive, just give yourself some time and a breather and get your head back in a good place. Sometimes just staying somewhere and trying to work it out isn't going to work, so take yourself away from the situation, give yourself some time. It's the same if you've got 2 children and they're squabbling and it's driving you mad, you know, put them upstairs in their room, come down, tell them that they need to stay there, come back down, make yourself a coffee, reassess, calm down, and then start again. We all need that sort of 5-10 minutes just to, you know, gather ourselves. And I think sort of that and like exercise, I just joined a little gym in my village. I only go at the weekends, but I go swimming and do some acro aerobics to help with the new baby or pregnancy, aches and pains. And that's really nice. Like, I go and do some lengths and it's just me time. It's just me time and it's lovely. So try and consider maybe doing a few things like that if you can, whether that's, it could be walking a dog, it could be, you know, just things that seem really silly and simple usually do really help. Make a playlist. Make a really happy, fun, upbeat playlist. When you get up in the morning and you've had a bad night, pour yourself a big cup of coffee and play your happy playlist. It can be any songs you like, but upbeat, fun songs that get you sort of in a good mood, and you can put it on when you're feeling cranky or whatever, and I think that's something that really helps too. Music always makes me feel better, and I think, you know, that could be a good thing to sort of start your day off. I think if you can get up and try and be positive from the get-go, hopefully your day won't seem so bad. If you're already up and already anxious and stressed and angry about the day ahead before it's even begun, you've already got that sort of negative outlook. Whereas I think if you can try and get up, you wake up, good day today, we're going to have a good day, you know, coffee, music, you know, get ready for the day ahead. And I do think little things like that help. You know, it's the same as putting something on nice that makes you feel nice, or a little bit of makeup if you get time to do that, or something like that, so you're feeling, you know, you're starting to kind of make the day positive before the day has really begun. Another thing I would say is try and radiate positivity. I feel like if you try and find good things in others, the world seems like a better place. And again, that might sound really hippie, but I love giving compliments. I love seeing people's reaction, and it always makes me feel really nice too. If I see someone that has a really nice pair of shoes, I will go up to them and say, "Oh my god, I love your shoes." Or if we are at a soft play and I see a mum and she's wearing a really nice t-shirt, I will go and say, "Wow, I really like the t-shirt, where did you get it?" Da, da, da. You know, that kind of thing. Or, "Wow, your hair looks really nice today," or just things like that. And I think that they might be having a bad day and you might have turned that around. And also for you, again, it's your outlook. You're looking at things in a different way. You're not looking at another mum and thinking, "Oh, I can't believe she gets up and does her hair like that. I don't even get time to brush my teeth. My life's really hard. My life's really difficult. My baby's really difficult. This isn't what I thought motherhood was." And then, you see, whereas you could go, "Wow, her hair looks really good. How does she have time to do that? She must have a trick. Maybe I'll go and ask her." See? 2 completely different ways of looking at it. And I get it. You're not going to be able to do this all the time. I completely get that. But these are just some little things that might help. Venting. Okay, so it's not great to moan all the time, because I think then you're bringing everything up that bothers you. So you start talking about something that's annoyed you. It's like me, if I've had a bad day at work and I start talking about it, I start getting angry again and I start getting really annoyed. But venting is a good thing. I think you need to have people around you that you can vent to. You can express why you're upset, and sometimes getting it off your chest does make you feel a lot better. So I definitely think that's a good thing. One of the main things about being positive and being just generally happy in life is who you surround yourself with. So make sure you have good, supportive, fun and positive people around you. If you are surrounded by a bunch of negative Nellies, you are going to be the same. It's the same if you watch Mean Girls. They're all that way because they're all like that, and they're all surrounded by those kind of people. It's like you. If If you're constantly surrounding yourself with people that are mopey and sad and angry at the world and like, you know, everything's bad, nothing's good enough kind of thing, you're going to be like that. And I think you need to try and surround yourself with people that are upbeat, are positive, and people that will listen to you. I always think it's better to have a handful of friends than a haulful of acquaintances. Have close friends, people that you can go around in your pyjamas to and have a bottle of Prosecco and have a little moan and have a chat and a cry, rather than people where you feel like you're under a lot of pressure to look a certain way or earn a certain amount of money or drive a certain car or things like that, because, you know, you're just putting extra stress on yourself and you're comparing yourself to others, and you need to be kind of focused and happy as you are, and just surround yourself with people that are happy and like you for the way you are and not wanting you to change or be any different. I think as well you need to balance that support out. It's very easy if you are someone that's usually quite upbeat and positive but you are having a tough time, people tell you their problems and you feel like you can't tell them yours because you're the person they're leaning on. But actually you need that balance. It's the same if you are having a really tough time and you're sort of flooding your friends with all this stuff that's going on. Remember to sit back and ask them if they're okay. How is your week? How is your son doing? Or how is that going at work? Or how are you and your husband now after that argument? Make sure it's always sort of a give and take. You need that relationship where you can always talk to them about any of your problems, but you need to also be there for others. So try not to get sort of like, you know, closed-minded where your world and your issues and your problems are everything. They are to you, but to be a good friend, you want to be able to support that other person, and sometimes you will give really good, positive, you know, suggestions and things that you can then step back and go, well, maybe I should be doing that too. So definitely the people you surround yourself with is a massive, massive thing. If you can't change it, but it's stressing you out, you need to kind of let it go. And I know that's so much easier said than done. I've been in lots of situations that I haven't been able to change, very difficult situations that I wish I could change that I couldn't, and you have to just deal with it and do what you can. If it's making you upset or it's stressing you out and you can change it, then change it. And I know that's easier said than done, but a lot of things, like little things, if you're doing a job that you absolutely hate, the people are driving you mad, you're constantly stressed out, start making that progress to look for another job, look for another position, look for maybe another career path. Try and take that bad situation and get some good from it. There's no point constantly moaning and getting upset about something that can be changed. I'm not saying the change is going to be easy, it won't, but in the long run it's going to be much better for you and your health and your happiness, and at the end of the day that's the main thing, is that you're happy. I know it can be really, really tricky. You might live in this gorgeous, great big house and you need to work at that job because otherwise you can't afford to live in that house, but you need to step back and say, if it's affecting my mental health this much and I'm this upset or this down in the dumps or depressed and all of these things because of this job, does it matter if I have this big house? Could I have a smaller house but I'm really happy and I'm in a job that I really love and my life is different but in such a good way? It's just trying to balance that all up. And again, it's easy for me to sit here and say all these things, but I think it's just sort of trying to have that different outlook. I think if you are really, really struggling, get help. I think we are, especially as mums, we just want to say we're okay, we just want to say everything's great, especially with a brand new baby, because you've had a baby. The best thing in the whole world is having a baby. We're not allowed to say it's tough, we're not allowed to say that we're exhausted, we're not allowed to say we didn't realise our life would change this much, but we are allowed to say that. And I think it is tough when you have people saying to you constantly, oh, your baby's really good though, your baby sleeps through the night, imagine if you had a baby like this, imagine if you had a baby like blah, 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 blah. And you're feeling like, I shouldn't be feeling like this because I have this perfect child and I feel like this. Why do I feel like this? You're allowed to say that it's tough. You're allowed to say that you need help. You're allowed, you know, whether that's ringing your mum and saying, can you please come and help me? I need a nap, and I need to go out on my own for 10 minutes. I need to pop to Tesco. Can you just come and help me? Whether it's seeing your midwife or your health visitor or your doctor and saying, look, I don't feel the way I thought I was going to feel, and I'm struggling. Please, can you help me? Seeing a counsellor if you feel like you've got a lot of weight on your shoulders and you need someone to be able to talk to about that. I think you're a much stronger person being able to admit that you need some help and asking for help, rather than being someone that's constantly like, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, when you're not okay. Because it takes a lot of courage to admit that you're not okay, but that is when things are going to start turning around. So I think, you know, definitely think about that. I know when Spencer was born, I wanted to be Supermum. I wanted to be able to do everything on my own. Lots of people offered me help, offered me, you know, why don't we do this for you, why don't you come around and do this? I wanted to do everything. I wanted to keep my house clean, I wanted to keep on top of the washing, I wanted my baby to be looked after the best it possibly could. I wanted to make sure that I looked good still and all stuff like this. And it got to a point where it was so hard and too much. And now when this one comes along, as soon as someone says, I'll come and help, I'll be like, yeah, come help me. Take the help when they're offering it, you know, and it's okay not, you know, to feel great all the time, not to be happy all the time, not to be happy smiley mummy all the time, but doing a few little things that are going to make you feel more like a happy smiley mum is going to be better for your kids and for you. Making time for yourself, that's another massive one. Again, I know it's like, yeah, all this free time I have, I'll definitely make time for myself, because, you know, being a mum only takes up a few hours of my day. I get that. But whether it's going to Home Bargains and buying some face packs, or some deep conditioning treatments, or painting your toenails, or having a bubble bath once a week where you have a glass of wine and a bubble bath and you play some music and you eat some chocolate and you say to your husband, right, the kids are yours for half an hour. I don't want any banging on the door, I don't want this, I don't want that, this is me time. And have that time, like we said about earlier, about going for a walk or going to a gym or things like that, just having that little bit of me time, like that pamper time, to make you feel sort of nice about yourself. All of these little things really make a difference. I would say probably I'll leave this at the last one, otherwise I'll just keep going on and on and on, is do things and buy things and whatever that make you happy. So if you've got something and it doesn't make you happy, get rid of it. And that's anything in your life. That's not just, I don't know, a pair of jeans that you've had since you were in sixth form that you're absolutely adamant you're going to fit into again, but you won't, just because you're not that shape you were when you were 15 or 16 anymore. And every time you get them out of the cupboard they make you miserable, throw them away and go buy some nice new jeans that do fit and make you feel really lovely. You know, things like that. If you've got really negative people in your life that are causing you a lot of stress, get rid of them. You know, and I know for a lot of people, not so much me, but for a lot of people that's a lot easier said than done. It will make you feel better. It is going to be hard, but it's kind of just getting all the things out of your life that aren't bringing you joy, you know, don't make you happy. I know obviously buying a Ferrari would probably make you happy, but that's not kind of what I'm saying. It's more that, you know, you go into Tesco's and you see some daffodils and you go, oh, they're lovely. Put them in the kitchen and make you feel happy. Ferrari would make me really happy, but the debt of it is not going to make me happy, so make sure you weigh all that up. But yeah, I just think just trying to change your outlook and sort of changing how you see things and how things affect you, and just doing little silly things like having songs that make you feel happy, or 3 things a day that you're really thankful for, or wearing a pair of earrings that make you feel really nice. Hopefully those little steps will equal a much more happier you. I really hope this helped. I hope there's a few things on here that you can go, oh, I can do that, or I'll give that a go, or we'll try that, or you know, hopefully we can get you out of this little dark place and into a really nice, happy, positive mama again. I've done this video for the Mother Hen Club. I'll pop their link below in case you stumbled across this video not through the Mother Hen Club. I blog and vlog, and my name is Mama Mutta, and so I'll pop all those links below as well. They're mainly sort of silly fun videos and things like that really, but I'd love for you to give me a follow, and I just hope this has helped, and I hope you're going to have a fantastic, positive, happy week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.